Hi everyone, it's Rachel from the Preschool Development Centre, and I'm here to talk to you today about the fourth week that I have in our long-term plan, and that is healthy eating or my body, however you want to label it. So I have a couple of lessons that I'm going to demonstrate for you, just to give you an idea of how things should look and how you should do it. But before I do that, I just want to quickly put in that I have a webinar happening about base and emergent curriculum planning. That's happening on Saturday the 26th of October 2020. And it's happening 10 to 11:30 and it's €19. And I also have a motivational management group coaching session coming up in October, and you can check out tickets for all of that in the shop. After the webinar, there will be a few more courses up in the course section of the website, so check out preschooldevelopmentcentre.com/courses. And also don't forget to go to preschooldevelopmentcentre.com/blog to download your free lesson plans for this week. Okay, so first up we're going to make some slime. So slime is going to be half a cup of PVA glue, half a cup of water. It's a tablespoon of baking soda. It is about a tablespoon of saline solution. I didn't have saline solution, so I made really salty water. I made it like a tablespoon of salt and a few drops of water. I'm going to add that in. It works not as well, but it's an okay substitute. And normally I'd put glitter or food colouring in, but I'm just doing the basics today to show you. So this, when it's put together, it takes a little while to come together, but it's a really nice activity if you want to keep the kids busy or maybe get them really excited about something. So we will gather around the table in a small or large group. Really depends, like you could have 2 bowls on the go if you had a large group and they weren't very good at waiting, and they can all take turns mixing until it comes together. So I'm going to put all these ingredients in the bowl and I'll give you a look at the consistency. Okay, so with the power of editing, I have water, baking soda and the saline solution substitute in here. Now I'm just going to throw in the glue, which is quite satisfying to watch. Maybe you don't think that, but from here it's quite nice. And then we're going to give it a mix. So I just want to show you, I'm sure there is a better way to show you how to do this, but this is what we're doing today. So it is really kind of watery at first, and that's normal, and it will just take like a really good whisk. Just dumped glue all over my floor. There, never. And you think a whisk would be better, but it's not. Like a big wooden spoon is probably the best thing, but mine was indisposed because my lovely husband is making me dinner. So yeah, it goes a bit gloopy, but just keep mixing. I just wanted to show you that because it is normal. I'm saying it's normal. I actually think that I'm after putting too much water in because I measured out half a cup, but in my cup thing, because I had the half cup measure used for the glue, so probably a little bit less water than that. Well, that was a resounding success, but it does work. Usually, if you have 2 half cup measures, this will definitely work. I always think to myself, I should really rehearse. People who are really successful at this, I'm sure they rehearse all the time, but I just don't have the time to rehearse. So you're just going to have to take me as I am. Sorry. The next hopefully successful lesson demonstration I'm going to show you is, I could probably cut that out actually, but you know what? These things happen, and if the glue wasn't in the kitchen and I didn't have to go and get it and have my kids chasing me around the house, I would have just got more glue and stuck some more glue in that. And if I was in a classroom, that's what I do. So you can always rescue these things, okay? This is, real life. I'm not a picture perfect teacher, not claiming to be, but just these mistakes happen. So after yammering on, what's next? I'm trying to look behind me. When we're talking about my body, we're going to focus on our senses, healthy eating, nutrition, how your body feels. If you have anyone potty training, this hopefully you don't, because unless they're in the 2nd year of preschool, but in the 1st year of preschool, hopefully no one is potty training in September. But if they are, listening to your body, getting to know how your body feels, what it does, naming the senses in circle time this week is a big thing. Looking at the food pyramid is another thing. I don't usually endorse the use of printables, but there are some things that you can print and keep forever, and a picture of the food pyramid is one of them, and the other one is the giant skeleton, which if you've watched the last last year's video of this, I have the big skeleton. I don't have it this year. And because now I have 2 babies and you have to cut that out, and that just wasn't happening. So I'm going to show you, we're going to talk about our hearing sense. We're going to make a water xylophone. So normally, guys, you would do this with a large number of glass jars, but I have a tiny desk and a lot of other stuff on it. So I just have 2. If you had children who were maybe a bit more sensitive to sound, maybe you could just do high and low. Or if you had children who, you know, were not as verbal as their friends, you could just, if you're working on language, you wouldn't have a large amount of this if you were working on language with this activity. But what we're working on now is we're going to do, it's a sensory activity for us, but it could be language, it could be fine motor, it could be a pouring exercise. You know, there's lots of things you could do. And it's really, really fun actually to keep on the shelf. And it's even more fun if you do this outside and let them fill up with rain and see what music nature can help us make. Okay, so we have 2 glass jars here. One has a large amount of water, one has a small amount of water. We're going to talk to the kids about maybe how's this going to sound? What do you think? Which one is going to be higher? Why? Will the one that just has a little bit be squeaky? Or will the one that has a lot be a higher note? How much air is in the jar? You know, there are lots and lots of things. And if you have loads of these set up, it's really, really fun. And the music is really, really nice. And you could spend an afternoon doing this if you really wanted to. And if you wanted to add another level, you can add make all the different sounds, different colours with some food colouring or paint. Okay, so you literally just easy peasy, really nice activity using recycled jars, water and a pencil, everything that you have in your classroom already. So the next lesson I'm going to show you is the Skittles Color Run. And this is a firm favourite. You could do this all the time. Just be careful, depending on the age of your children, about the Skittles, because they could be a choking hazard. I normally do this the older group, but I normally let the older group make it, but everyone can watch it. The only thing is as well, the hot water you use, it doesn't have to be boiling, but it does have to be hot. So just mind little hands as well. Okay guys, I'm just going to bring you a bit closer so you can see this. I just have a paper plate and we will just make sure it's kind of filled with water. There's a few gaps here. And then the colour will start to run. But the way it runs is so interesting, like it runs into the middle. So we can talk about, like, you know, what way is the water moving? Does hot water move more than cold water? And why that might be. You know, if you want to talk about molecules and molecules vibrating with heat or with coldness, you can see it all starting to move in. And actually, sorry, I have a couple that I shouldn't have. This should be a straight line, so you can see a few of them. I'm just going to leave that behind me, and as I finish the rest of this, you'll be able to see it come in, but it is a super fun experiment. So yeah, I'll leave that behind me running. And also on my Facebook page, there's the one that I did last year. I have kind of a time-lapse one. It does take a few minutes, but they always sit and watch because it's really pretty. If you have them in a straight line, you can see a couple of I can see a couple of those colours mixing, and it's annoying me, but it's fine. And also if you have a hard plate, it's better than a paper plate, but all my plates are blue and it wouldn't have looked right. So that's why I use the paper plate today. So yeah, other activities that we have are a food pyramid. You know, you can stick it up on the wall. You can give them their own little ones. You can make them a little notebook of foods. Completely avoid the words healthy and unhealthy. You know, there's no need to use them. Some foods do more for our bodies than other foods. Sugar gives us lots of energy, but carrots make our eyes really strong and give us energy, and that's 2 things, but sugar only really does 1 thing. So if you want to talk about sugar in the food pyramid, do it like that. Do not put ideas in the kids' heads. That's not your business. That is not your place. If you have any children who you think perhaps are unhealthy, as I got some messages last year when I did this, that is also not your place. People come in all different shapes and sizes. It's up to us to give them the information and to choose what food they have in our schools. It is not our place to, you know, put negative language or imagery in anyone's head, no matter what the age. Okay guys, just for another Rachel absolute win today, you can see that my Skittles are making a marbled effect and not the proper rainbow. So I'm going to link the Facebook video down below so you can see how it's actually supposed to work. And the reason that this happened, is because when I moved the plate over to the tray, a couple of them went on top of each other, and I think they've just messed up the flow of the water. But I'm not going to do it again. I'm not going to leave it in, because these things happen. And if it happened in the classroom, you know, I would try it again with the kids, and we would talk about why this happened. And if we did it a different way, you know, that's contrasting and comparing. That's a whole nother level to our lesson. And that's what I do. So just, you know, don't be worrying about these things. It's all fine. Okay, so there's a couple of examples for you, stellar as they were. They, you know, the kids are going to enjoy them. Have a look and download and print the lesson plans for your portfolio. Next week is autumn, and I'm actually quite happy with the autumn. Video that I did before. It just needs a new intro and a few things. So next week it's not going to be a brand new video, but we will have a new intro. But the demos in it are going to be the same. Because I'm up to my eyes with webinars and coaching, thankfully. So don't forget to subscribe, and I promise I will stop saying that forever once I reach 1,000, because that's what I need to get monetized. And as soon as I get monetized, you get more content for free. So please hit subscribe, and I will see you next week. Bye guys.